Welcome to this week's Dream Car judging video here at BOTB. We'd now like to hand over to today's lawyer from Onside Law who'll oversee the proceedings.
My name's George Cottle from Onside Law and I'll be overseeing the judging this morning. Firstly, I can confirm that the competition data has already been sent to the verification company Promo Veritas. I'd now like today's judges to introduce themselves and, using the secure link provided, mark on the screen where they think the centre of the ball should be. The group will then come to a final panel decision.
Good morning, my name's Matt Cannon. I'm a senior county referee and footballer.
Good morning, my name's Peter Giorgio. I'm a football and futsal referee.
Good morning, my name is Leo Donnellan. I'm an ex-professional football player, having been with Chelsea, Fulham and Leyton Orient.
Good morning, my name's Andy Braithwaite and I'm a football referee, mentor and licensed observer.
Hi, my name is Kieran Fitzgibbon. I've played football for more than 30 years and I'm also a referee.
My name's Liam Walsh. I'm a retired referee and a retired referee coach. I'm currently keeping active as a matchday referee observer.
Hi, I'm Jenna Scalacci, retired professional footballer, now operations manager at Tottenham Hotspur Academy.
Hi, my name is Ari Mendonca. I've been involved in football for over 30 years, firstly as a player and then as a referee.
Judges, please now come to a final panel decision. For your reference, the larger white cross is the calculated average of the 8 individual selections.
Thank you very much, George. Good morning, everybody. Before I draw some lines in, I'm going to come to you, Andy. Yeah, there's your dark blue cross in the midst of us all there. So could you explain what you're seeing in the photograph, please, then how you reached your decision?
Thanks, Matt. Good morning. Thank you. I think for this one, it's either a throw-in or corner coming in from the right-hand side, right to left. In the shot, we have, I presume, is an attacker in white and the goalkeeper, obviously with white gloves on, etc. Just to his left, to the right of the picture, the centre of the picture, and we can just see the frame of the goal in the background. We have another attacker at the bottom in the bottom left of the picture. Obviously, we can't see any of his eyes, and another fella, I'm not sure which team he is, just ahead of him. Going back to the two guys in the picture, the fella in white, he's off the ground, two eyes we can see squinting. So for him, the ball's coming in quite eminently. I believe he's trying to get a flick on the ball, obviously towards the goal, or a headed chance at the goal. The goalkeeper, although he looks slightly below the attacker, which he is at the moment, he's obviously going to jump. He's already started raising his left hand. He feels he's going to get a punch on the ball to punch it away. My actual take on the on the final position of my ball is that I think they're both literally going to, the goalkeeper's left fist and the attacker's head are literally going to hit the ball at the same time. But again, obviously, the attacker could get there first, but I believe that the goalkeeper will probably get his fist up and to the ball just milliseconds before the header.
So you say the goalkeeper's the favourite, yeah?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Because he's still raised and his arm's already raised, and he's obviously got that chance of the extension to his hand as he comes up.
Great. Okay, so let's draw some lines in. So first, from this goalkeeper, we've got two good eyes. And I know you didn't mention it. You said it was a attacker versus defence, and you're right, because the badges are different. So that justifies that.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Liam's at the bottom. And we have Leo's at the top. So I'm going to work my way up today. So Liam, that means you're next. There's your purple cross. Ever so slightly closer to the goalkeeper. What did you see it the same way?
Yes and no, I'm afraid. Corner, yeah, but I feel that attacker and goalkeeper, yes. For me, it's a corner coming in. I'm looking at the guy in white. I think he's, focused through the ball. I've got where he's going to actually head the ball. And if it's an attacking situation, you've got to sort of have a 80 to 20% guess that there's going to be a bit of pace and zip on the ball. And also that the goalkeeper is going to try and punch the ball. We can see that. So it's got to be where he's going to punch it. So you've got that perfectly set. And that's what I'm telling you. I'm saying that the guy in white is going to head the ball, but I'm also saying that the goalkeeper, has got a good opportunity where it is to punch the ball. Now, there's only certain length his arm can go to in the snap that the ball comes in. I then lined up the eyes, etc., and that's where my cross fell.
Okay. So do you have a favourite?
I think it's a white header, personally, but I think he's going to get a clump.
Yeah. Okie dokie. So moving on up, that's your next Jenna. There's your light blue cross there, a little bit to the left, higher up. And what was your take on the photo?
Yes, I agree. I think it's a ball into the back post, either a corner or free kick. You can see the frame of the goal there. Two players in shot. The player in white, he's side on. He's on his way up. He's very focused and side on. I think he's going to try and just nod it in past the goalkeeper there. Then you've got the goalkeeper. His looks very, very focused. His arm is on the way up there. I think he's just starting his jump up. He's got a very strong hand. I think he's going to come through and punch the ball clear. The two players in front of the two players in action there, I think they're merely just looking at the player and looking at the player in white there. For me, I was torn, but I think the goalkeeper, given he's kind of on his way up, is favourite and is going to get a strong punch on it.
Yeah, thank you. And moving a little bit more central, very close to Andy's original choice is yours, Kieran. Did you see it the same way as Andy?
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, good morning, everybody. Slightly different again. I think what we've got here is a cross coming in. I don't think it's a corner, because if it was a corner, I think we might see more defenders behind this player in white, who's clearly the attacker. I think what we've got is a cross coming in. The player in white, I think, has made a run behind the defence, got up in the air early, and looks favourite to win the ball. The goalkeeper, I think, has been a little bit slow to react. He's coming up. That fist is not quite in a natural position. So I think he's just trying to get that arm in the way to try to prevent the player in white from getting the header on the ball. The player in white, I think, is hanging in the air. He's made his jump early. He's made the good run behind the defence. But I did use the eyes to look at where the ball was. I think it's a little bit in front of them, but I think it's coming in and just dipping at the last minute. And I think the player in white may be favourite to win the ball. I think the goalkeeper's going to do whatever he can just to get his fist on the ball, just to try and interfere. But possibly the player in white is going to win the header and may score the goal as well. And I placed my cross based on the lines. I think the player in white is looking just a little bit upwards. So the ball, though, possibly is just going to drop into his forehead. He's hanging he's hanging in the air to try and make that header. And I think the goalkeeper is flailing, just going to try and do whatever he can to get something on the ball, but I'm not sure he's going to do that.
Okay, thank you. And then moving on up is my own. There's my red cross there in the middle. I took it as a cross or a corner. I think if I was a betting man, I'd say it was a corner, just because of the way that for me the game set up with the goalkeeper. I don't think the goalkeeper would be that active if it was a cross, in my own view. I think the attacker's coming up to head the ball, the white ball, but I don't think he's going to get there. I think, as Jenna said, I think the goalkeeper's on his way up. He's very determined looking at the ball, and he's just timing his jump differently from the player in white. And typically the player in white will go up, try, I think, to hang on the ball, to head the ball towards the goal. And the goalkeeper, as you know, I believe all goalkeepers do, will get there slightly beforehand. He doesn't want to be up there too early because then he'll be flapping at the ball. So I think he's on his way up. Big, strong arms, biceps nice and taut, ready to punch. And he's also got his right hand out splayed, which I think he's just going to give the white centre forward a bit of a nudge to get him out the way of his domain. I've taken two good eyes from the goalkeeper looking straight up, and I've cross-referenced them with these sort of more squinty eyes. This guy's looking up a little bit higher than 45 degrees, and that's how I've reached my decision. So next is yours, Peter. There's yours. Green cross that's ever so slightly to the right. What did you see?
Yeah, the two active players in shot, the goalkeeper and the in black, and the got the attacker in white. For me, I think Andy said, I think there's going to be a simultaneous touch from both players. The player in white heading the ball and the goalkeeper coming through with his fist. I believe the white player will be is slightly favourite, but taking on the comments from the other judges, the goalkeeper could possibly get this slightly before. But I think the player in white is favourite the ball, and cross-referenced the eye lines. That's where I put the centre of the ball.
Great. Moving on up, I think the next is yours, Leo. There's your yellow cross slightly to the left, a little bit higher up. How did you see this?
Yeah, hi, Matt. Yeah, I think there's a ball coming in from right to left. I think it's just starting to drop down as well. I think the player in white is obviously going to head the ball. I think there's a bit of momentum, Matt. So, you know, his body's going to, as he's heading the ball and moving towards it, he's going to come into the goalkeeper. So for me, he's favourite. I think both his eyes, he looks to be looking quite steeply. I think the goalkeeper is quite a lot lower than the player in white. And I think he's struggling a bit. I think he's going to take the force of the player's body as he hits the ball. And I think he's going to swing his left arm at the ball. But he just looks for me, with his right hand and things, the goalkeeper, he's not a favourite for me, Matt. And also with his eye lines, I think he's looking predominantly straight above him. This is the goalkeeper. But as I said, the ball's going from right to left, so the ball's still moving.
Right. And last but not least is yours, Ari. Yours, same height as Leo's, but slightly on the right side of the picture. There's your pink cross. What did you see in this picture?
Well, I felt for me, the goalkeeper is in full control of this situation. He's coming off the goal with the eye set on the ball. We cannot forget that he doesn't need to jump at the same height as the player. So the timings of the goalkeeper and attacker will be different, because the attacker will try to head the ball, so he needs to jump first. The goalkeeper, he can extend his arm. He knows what he's doing. I felt that he's gonna punch this ball. Obviously, the ball is coming from right to left, dropping. But I feel that the goalkeeper, he will always get there first on this one. I think he has the ability to anticipate where the ball is going to go, and with his fist, he's going to give the first touch on it. It could be really, really close, but I feel that the goalkeeper is going to be the one clearing the ball out of there. In terms of the eye lines, when
I felt that the position of where the player in white is looking, and where I feel that the goalkeeper is gonna punch. I think that's the position that I got in there.
Yeah. So we're all in agreement on one thing, that the ball's coming right to left, and then we split. We've got 4 people thinking that the white player is favourite to head the ball or get something on the ball, with a couple of judges thinking there'll be a challenge with him a bit favourite. And then we've got 4 goalkeepers, certainly 3 of us thinking that the goalkeeper's in complete control of this. So we've got a split opinion about what we're seeing in the photograph, on what's happening. As Kieran pointed out at the very beginning, the goalkeeper is obviously the defending player near his goal, and the 2 white players are attackers. So we can tell that by the badges on their shirts. If I draw a line up from the white player up through the calculated average, we've got sort of 4 above and 4 below. And if we go up from the goalkeeper, again, we've got really 2 smack in the middle, 3 slight to the right, 3 slightly to the left. So we've got a good split from both players, but quite a tight split. It's not a big span of eye line. So there's the calculated average. We can see we've got Liam's pointing just outside the bottom of the magnifier, and Ari's slightly on the right. Now, if I remove Liam's, it obviously pops the calculated average up, and Ari's is more encompassed by the magnifier. If we take Ari's out, Liam's is still popping out a bit at the bottom. So I'm going to come through you individually. I'm going to basically ask you whether you're happy with this calculated average, or if I'll prompt you to tell me what you think should or should not be removed, if at all, and then we'll go to a vote if we've got a consensus. So Peter, come to you first. What's your thoughts?
I like the average with Liam's removed.
With Liam's removed. Okay.
Yeah.
Leo?
Yeah, I would take Liam out. I think it's just a little bit too low.
Okay. Andy?
I'm actually happy with the average as it is, to be honest.
Yeah. Kieran?
Yeah, I think I've got to say I'm happy where the average is. I think Liam's is a little bit low, but I think it's close enough to be possible given that the player in white is squinting his eyes. So I'm happy with the average where it is.
Yeah. Liam?
I'm going to say stick. I'm not going to get involved in take out a job, another fellow colleague judge, do this, do that, move this, so it brings it down a bit. I personally don't think some of the scenarios are right, but so on that count, I'd go with Andy and Kieran and say stick.
Lovely. Jenna?
Yeah, I'd stick. I think the 3 that are out kind of balance each other out there, so I'm happy with the average as is.
Yeah. And Ari?
I would remove the lower one.
Okay. So we have the calculated average here. If I was to remove Liam's as well, we'd have a split with my lead judge moving up slightly. And I'm going to do that only for the reason it goes close to my own. I think it's not that low. I think as I discussed earlier, I think the keeper's on his way up. So with a heavy heart, I'm going to also ask to remove Liam's, and as lead judge, we'll carry on with that. So, George, after great discussion about what we're seeing on the in the picture, we've got a split decision with myself as lead judge removing Liam's with the casting vote, and we're going to judge this calculated average with the remaining 7 judges taken into consideration.
Very good. Thanks, Matt. Please click submit. Thank you, judges. The selected coordinates are 2557, 1358. These coordinates will now be passed to the verification company Promo Veritas to calculate the winner of the competition. They will then inform BOTB. That concludes the judging process. Thank you.